everyone. My name is Rory Ritchie. I'm the VP of Exploration for Kobrea Exploration Corp. Can everyone hear me there? Is that all right? Perfect. I do have a lot to go through, so I'm going to kind of be moseying along pretty quick, so excuse me in advance there, but a lot of slides here. So Kobrea, we're in Argentina. Specifically, we're in Mendoza province. We're in a world-class copper district, the Neogene Porphyry Belt, which I'll touch on. We do have a first mover advantage. Mendoza opened up officially in April of 2024. We caught wind in about January that it was opening up, so we started looking for projects. And what we ended up with is a pretty exceptional package. It's called the Western Malargüe Copper Projects. It's really 7 projects lumped into one deal. And I will mention the elevation here. We're in the Andes, but it's fairly modest, 2,500 meters to a maximum of 4,000 meters. So the Neogene Porphyry Belt, this relates to the timing of these porphyry systems, late Miocene to early Pliocene. Certainly a world-class metallogenic belt, includes 2 of the 3 largest copper inventories on the planet. The largest being Los Bronces Rio Blanco, so that's over 200 million tons of copper in a cluster of porphyry deposits. And El Teniente is number 3, that's 128 million tons. So these are monster deposits, not just known for their high tonnages, but also their grade. And also, I'll mention at this point that these things have a lot of breccias that are associated with mineralization, and I'll be touching on that as well. So the Western Malargüe copper projects are in the Neogene Porphyry Belt. We're in the kind of the southern extension there on the Mendozan side in Argentina, where there has been very little exploration. The province of Mendoza, so what's happening there, if people aren't familiar, pretty unique circumstance. It's really a concerted effort to open up Mendoza for development of resources, specifically copper, or really that's the focus. This is led by the governor of Mendoza and the Minister of Energy and Environment in Mendoza, and they've done an exceptional job, probably over the last 5 to 6 years, to convince people to get the social license essentially to open up Mendoza to mining. And now everyone's on board, and it's quite a 180 shift to, compared to decades in the past there where Mendoza really it was off limits. And what they've done is so this has been implemented by a group called Impulsa Mendoza. That's a vehicle adopted by the province of Mendoza to develop, really lay the groundwork to attract foreign investment and to develop a modern and sustainable mining sector. And what they've done here at Mendoza this time around is they've kind of cordoned off the southwest corner. They're calling it the Western Malargüe Mining District. This is an area where there's no competition for the use of land or water, which is very important. So it's not impacting agriculture and the wineries and such that are kind of towards Mendoza City to the north. And obviously the geologic potential is really the main driver behind selecting this area, the Western Malargüe Mining District. So in blue are our projects. It's over 730 square kilometers. The white stars are notable projects in the area, and it's important to note that there has been no drilling on these projects to date. Not a single drill hole, and really diamond drill permits issued for the very first time in this area in 2024. That includes 2 of our projects, El Perdido and Elena. So very exciting time in this area. Las Chuicas, El Barrero, these will be drilled for the very first time this year. Cerro Amarillo, that was drilled earlier in the year there. So brand new, essentially, district, the northern portion of which is considered to have the highest potential for porphyry copper deposits, and that's why we ended up in this area. As mentioned, 7 projects. There they are shown in different colors. Really the takeaway is they all have 1 or more porphyry prospects, none of which have been drilled. In particular, El Perdido and El Destino, these are mapped porphyry systems, again, that have never been drilled. And we're obviously trying to develop more of these through systematic exploration, really just geology, geochemistry, geophysics. El Perdido, they're shown in the distance. It's characterized as a 2 by 3 kilometer hydrothermal alteration footprint, so big system, all the earmarks of a porphyry system, the intrusions, the alteration, stockwork veining, anomalous copper gold moly geochemistry, and we've recently outlined a large hydrothermal breccia or series of hydrothermal breccias, which is of significance, shows there's a lot of energy in the system, and I mentioned this is important in the late Miocene systems. And so really a well-defined copper gold target, porphyry target that we're getting ready to drill. And and yeah, I'll get into the details thereof. There's the target in 3D, so you're looking at the magnetic inversion, which we're interpreting as a potassic center at depth. So really, where you are positionally in the kind of porphyry model is you're just right underneath, or really at the interface between the phyllic on top of the potassic, and I'll show you that in the coming slides. But the idea being we should be able to get some long intercepts, and obviously we don't know, it's a matter of tonnage and grade, and that's why we're going to get ready to drill. Excuse me, I'm just going to grab some water here. So the geology, it has been mapped, as mentioned, historical on the left there. We updated it this year, largely the same. There is certainly, it's a little more complex, the story with a number of intrusive phases, but really of note is, again, that large breccia system, whether it's a series of breccias or one kind of continuous thing. There's not actually that much outcrop on this prospect, believe it or not. But a big system, this breccia, it's intermineral, and it covers a big area, and really it opens up some more search space for us. And it also is bringing up some material from depth, which is going to help us target. So there in the top left is Paul Johnson. He's our chief geologist, a very talented porphyry geologist. That's the outcrop where we learned that the first hydrothermal breccia, and that's when he asked me for the number of the previous mappers so we could give him a hard time. But really, over the course of our work, we outlined this over a big area. Like I said, 1,700 meters by 250 meters. And it could be bigger. Certainly on the east side, there's a lot of cover. These are intermineral breccias. It's all been phylically altered. But again, you see different flavors. You see biotite magnetite breccias. You see sulfide matrix breccias. Some have more A veining. Some have less. Some just D veins. So probably a long-lived kind of series of hydrothermal brecciation there. Here you're looking at some A veins. So this is an outcrop as well as in the extensive float and the drainages coming off the main target there. But again, very attractive. And I have to keep mentioning that it's never been drilled. So we're very excited to get to drill that. Here's the alteration. Really the story there, we just simplified it. There's no argillic alteration. Again, it's really just phyllic alteration, overprinting potassic. So again, you're kind of at that ideal level where the vast majority of it should be preserved. And there's the breccia just for reference. So a quick simplified cross-section, the red really being your early mineral quartz feldspar porphyry. There's actually 2 or 3 of them, but this is just a simple schematic. The purple intermineral hydrothermal breccia. You have some late mineral quartz feldspar porphyries as well, and then you have some post-mineral diking, which are quartz diorites. Potassic alteration came in with those early mineral porphyries, and then this has been overprinted by phyllic. So this is a to-scale actual section based on the work we've done thus far this year. There is chalcocite in outcrop as well as in a lot of that float draining, to the west of the ridge there, which the ridge is really where we're projecting the center of the system to be. So despite the degree of leaching, there is a lot of leaching, but you are seeing chalcocite preserved. So there is an enrichment layer. We just don't know how thick, but most of it looks like to be preserved. And again, I touched on the fact that there's not actually that much outcrop. That's right in the kind of the guts of it. On the right, you're seeing a post-mineral dike, and on the left is that hydrothermal breccia. So there's actually not that much outcrop, which is why you need to drill at some point. El Destino is another one similar to El Perdido. Big color anomaly, breccias, all the earmarks of a porphyry system again, and again, this is a copper-gold porphyry prospect. Big system, it's 1 kilometer by 3 kilometer hydrothermal alteration footprint, but I will point out on this slide, the gray unit, both in the geologic map and in the image there, is a young ignimbrite, so this is cover rock. There's a good chance that this is in the north-south direction longer, wider than a kilometer, but it's at least 3 kilometers in the east-west. And again, breccias, these are diorite intrusions, all the earmarks of a porphyry system, and this one is worked up to that El Perdido level, and it's very close to being drill ready as well. Here showing the alteration mapping done in 2013 by a previous operator. Again, similar to El Perdido, it's largely phyllic. There is phyllic overprinting potassic, and you do get a little window there, kind of in that pink polygon of just non-overprinted potassic alteration. So again, you're kind of at that ideal level. There you see copper gold, and really over the about 2.5 kilometers by 1 kilometer, you're seeing anomalous gold geochemistry. Most of the copper being leached out. It is a heavily leached cap as well here. The cuprum trend. So really, as I mentioned, El Destino, El Perdido, these are map porphyry systems, bona fide, copper gold, getting ready to drill at El Perdido, getting close at El Destino. And in the meantime, we have a regional program going on where we're trying to develop more of these targets, get them to that drill-ready status. The Cuprum trend is a 20 by 5 kilometer trend of high-level porphyry alteration, as indicated by the Aster data. Here you have five, well, there's likely greater than 5, but there's at least 5 porphyry prospects outlined by previous operators. These need more work, so we're doing sampling, mapping, and we will be doing some geophysics, some airborne shortly. And again, no drilling, obviously. This is early stage, just because of the socioeconomic scene in the past in Mendoza. The Sophie property in the north, another 4 porphyry targets there that we've done some work on. So, they need more work. It's actually, this is all horseback, assisted exploration, takes time. But again, a number of attractive prospects there. So this is all in the pipeline, moving forward. And as I mentioned, so Cajon Chico, there's some pictures of some breccias. So we are seeing a lot of hydrothermal breccias across the land package. Cajon Chico is in the Sophie property to the north. Las Cargas that's a hydrothermal breccia. That's in on the Elena project, which crews are currently at. Tiburcio is actually very exciting for me. No historical exploration whatsoever. 5-kilometer trend of color anomalies. These are big systems here that haven't seen a lot of exploration. So it's truly kind of an exceptional, unique scenario here. And this is ongoing. So as mentioned, really kind of concurrently, we're trying to develop these regional targets as well as prepare for drilling at El Perdido, and that's all underway now. So we have about 15 targets to get through. Hopefully we can develop some more with the upcoming airborne survey, which will be a magnetic radiometric survey, and we're just trying to work our way north to south, getting through these things. We'll get to El Destino, which needs a bunch of work later, probably next month. But yeah, I mean, this is. You don't see this very often in this day and age where you can go in. It's essentially a new district where they're sticking up the surface. We just got to work them up, do our systematic exploration. Obviously, we put a lot of time into the social scene there in Malargüe to the east, which is about 65 kilometers to the east. So, we put a lot of work. We set up an office there. We've held meetings. We've certainly wined and dined with a lot of the politicians and all that, which is important. This is a new thing. We have to be exemplary citizens down here because we're really the first public company in the Western Malargüe Mining District. And so, anytime we put out a news release, this is in the newspapers down in Mendoza there. So we're trying to do things the right way. So far, so good. And yeah, it's exciting times coming up, particularly at El Perdido. But again, there's a number. We have numerous kicks at the can down here. And so, yeah, so we're gearing up to go strong at this. And we have crews down there right now. So I think that's it. Actually, I came in on time, and that's great. Certainly, if anybody has any questions, my info is there, or you can go to our website. But I'm happy to field calls or emails or anything on the technical side. James Hiddellen is our CEO. He's here as well. So that's it. Yeah, I can take some questions.
Just put up your hand if you have any questions. Maybe I'll start off here. So I was actually down in the region a couple weeks ago, and I'm just wondering, kind of on the community side in Mendoza, obviously I think they see what has happened in San Juan with all the investment and revenue that the mining generates up there, and they can apply that to Mendoza. Do you see a difference between their understanding, maybe not the officials, but like the locals? It seems like there's a history of fracking in Mendoza, and that left a bad taste versus mining. Is there confusion among the populace?
I don't know if I'd call it confusion, but certainly there's a learning curve. People think we're going, some people, I'm kind of reading between the lines, but I think they think, we're going to go in there and start mining. So really the biggest thing, and they had a conference in Mendoza at the end of November, which was great. It was really educational for the people there, and what it, we're trying to explain the process of exploration. They've done a very good job, particularly in Pulse Mendoza, but really, yeah, that's the one thing. Look, we're not mining. This takes time. You know, let the companies go in there and do their work. But no, so far, everyone is actually, everywhere you go, everyone's very excited, everyone's on board. At the conference there was no unrest, so to speak, whereas maybe in years past in Mendoza province there was. So, yeah, and obviously they see what's happening in San Juan, but I think this is more them looking from the inside out at Peru and Chile and saying, hey, we need to expand our economy here. And also the oil and gas, which has been a big part of the Mendozan economy, that's kind of waning a little bit. So, but generally speaking, they've done a phenomenal job, and it's quite the 180 shift. Everyone seems quite excited, and certainly we've felt very welcomed.
Okay. And then on the exploration side, in terms of you know, the work plan you laid out, when will you be able to get to drilling once that plan is completed?
Yeah, we just got to build the road, which is starting imminently, and then get in there. You know, it is a short exploration season down there, but at this point, things are looking good. You probably have till mid to late April, so we're rushing, but, and again, you got to do things the right way. You can't skip any steps. But no, right now it's looking good, and so that's in the works at the same time, like I said, with the regional program. So far, on schedule, on budget.
Okay, and so that will set you up for next season for drilling, essentially?
Exactly, that's the idea. You're lining up these targets so that next season you have additional targets to drill.
Perfect.
Hopefully El Perdido warrants additional drilling. We're pretty confident it's going to, because it's not going to be a huge program this year. It'll probably only be 1,500 meters as an initial test. But yeah, that's the idea. Certainly El Destino is looking very good. You know, maybe that's next on the docket, but yeah, we'll be drilling again next year. That is the plan. So we want to keep busy and keep the momentum going.
Okay, perfect.
Ignoring permitting and the issues around getting on the ground, what's your favorite target?
At this point, I mean, I haven't been to them all. You know, it is kind of a toss-up between El Perdido and El Destino for me. I've spent, you know, a couple weeks on El Perdido, so it's a big porphyry system. It's, you know, it's kind of textbook. It looks great. The breccias, you know, we don't have a great handle on what's going on there, but that could be a big part of the story. So I would say at this point, El Perdido is my favorite target. It's also relatively straightforward with infrastructure, kind of in a good area, tucked away. So yeah, that'd be my number one target for sure.
Okay, I think there's a couple over there. If
Sure.
if you
Yeah,
can
go ahead.
answer them quickly, we can take a minute.
Hello. Maybe any word on the capital structure or insider holdings? I said you see
Yeah,
you did
that's a
a
good
big
point.
raise
Yeah, I think
now.
we're around, you know, I normally have this, I just wanted to shorten it down a bit, but I think we're around 30 issued and outstanding. Really, it's mostly high net worth groups. There's not a lot of like, brokerages, for example, in the deal. Plethora Precious Metals Fund would be a significant shareholder. But yeah, it's largely at this point, you know, we raised $5 million in, I can't remember, that was a couple months ago anyway, or a few months ago. And really, mostly high net worth, yeah, kind of, and so very tightly held. You know, we don't have a lot of liquidity at this point, but we're working on that, but really there's just not a lot of sellers. But yeah, so that you could go on our website and find that. I probably should have kept it in here. I actually had enough time, but at this point, we're a brand new company, public in December of 2023. So yeah, quite tight, in a good spot right now.
Thanks.
Yep, go ahead.
Can you speak more to the financial, like how much cash do you have and are you funded for drilling?
We are, yeah. I think you know, I'm going to hazard a guess at about, you know, $4.5 million in the bank. Don't quote me on that, or maybe you can, but somewhere around there. Yeah, we did that $5 million raise just a few months ago, and really we've just been doing pretty cost-effective exploration thus far.
And that's going to fund the drilling?
Yep. That's funding the first phase of drilling at least. Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Rory.
Great. Thanks, everyone.